Hello everyone, what's going on? It's that time of the month,
That's
and
awkward.
no, it's not your period. It's the HGW's podcast time of month, and I'm HGW as always, and I'm here with the one and only TR72Pro. How's it going, TR?
Period free, TR72,
A
yes.
period. Good. I hope you're period free.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to start this off. I'm trying to
We
think.
started it off pretty well there.
Well, it's
That's
okay.
one way to do it.
Okay, so we have a lot that we have to talk about before we get into Hell in a Cell. Obviously, we're here for Hell in a Cell predictions,
Mm-hmm.
but we missed a lot
As usual.
as per usual. So, Clash of Champions. What'd you think of it?
Oh, good lord. I don't even remember. I was about to say that I don't even remember freaking, I don't even remember No Mercy, let alone Class of Champions. Jeez.
We'll try to remember.
Oh, good lord.
And
The triple threat wasn't that bad between Bailey, Charlotte, and Sasha. I don't think it was that bad.
I forgot that match.
Yeah, see? There you go. I told you. Gosh, darn.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
god.
I'm looking at the cell preview and I noticed
Ooh!
they're calling it her.
Ah! Hold on.
You didn't start. You didn't start it, did you?
No, I did. I did.
What are you doing?
Austin Aries just tweeted this photo.
Oh gosh.
Look at fucking this. I just sent it to you. Look at this. This
Mm.
pop up on my feed. This man got wrecked.
Dang, I didn't know it was that bad. I know he. Did you hear about what happened or how it happened to
I assume Nakamura.
him? Nice, because that's exactly what happened. He. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was his usual bottom rope dive, but he went through, took a dive, and got a kick right into the face by Nakamura at a live show last night.
Okay,
He was bleeding like crazy, apparently.
we're gonna get into the NXT rant here later because that's something that I want to talk about, but I'll save that
Oh
for a little
no.
bit.
Oh
You,
yeah, I went to NXT too in Richmond.
how
That
was
happened.
that? What was the
That was
card? What was the card?
bizarre. It was really
Bizarre.
bizarre because like in the building that I was in, it was in a theater, so it's not a usual ring setup. The way it was that we were actually pretty much catered to a theater where the ring was on the stage and we were all of the regular audience. It was really strange.
Mhm.
Other than that, it was a pretty good show. I loved it. It was a lot
Well,
of fun. I was like one of 5 people rooting for Peyton Royce, like I should have been,
what was
against Liv Morgan.
what was the main what was the card? What were some of the good matches?
Uh, um, Austin Aries versus Cedric Alexander went as expected, like exactly how you thought that would go. Uh, the main event was lit. It didn't start for like 10 minutes because we were chanting the entire time.
What was the main event?
Um, No Way Jose and Nakamura versus Joe and Bobby Roode.
Hmm.
It was very nice. That was very impressive. That was a lot of fun. The faces actually lost. How about that?
That's
I think
great.
Jose tapped out, if I remember correctly. That was a really weird thing.
That's
Came out of
interesting.
nowhere.
Well, okay, we're on the topic of NXT, so I really want to. I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I don't even know how to start this off. So there's like been a lot of controversy. I know Dana Bryan talked about this in an interview with Michael Cole about
hmm
having these really great guys be in NXT and not on the main roster. For example, Hito Itami.
Yeah.
He's out with a neck injury for 2 months, I believe it is.
hmm Yeah, 2 months.
And first off, he should have never been in that. If he was on the main roster, he would never have been wrestling in front of a crowd of maybe 400 people, and he never would have been fucking wrestling whoever the fuck he wrestled. Some nobody. I don't even know who he is. I don't remember.
Nobody.
But like he never would have been facing these guys. He never would have. I don't know how to say this. I just feel like yeah, I just feel like that guys should not be wrestling. That the NXT system is really bullshit in the sense that they should have these guys on the main roster already. For example, here's a good analogy, right?
hmm
If 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 you, by the way, I don't know what's going on, but you're starting to sound like Megatron over there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm lagging a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
It's a bit better now, yeah, actually. But,
Okay, that's good.
so here's an example.
Mm-hmm.
If you own a baseball team, right? And
Yeah.
for example, you're the Cubs, and you have these really great guys, game-changing guys, on your minor league team.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't make sense to keep them on your minor league team so your minor league team is better. You would bring them up. You would bring them up to the major leagues so that your major league team is better. So that, for example, not NXT is better, so that WWE, Raw, and SmackDown and their pay-per-views are better, because that's what more people are watching.
Yeah. That's very
Bring,
true.
bring Nakamura, bring Joe up. This is stupid that they're fucking 30-something years old and they're still down there in NXT wrestling in front of 400 people a week. Like, and they're not learning anything. Nakamura's not learning anything. Joe's not learning anything. That's a whole NXT thing is developmental for you to get better. They're already as good as they're fucking gonna bring these guys up. And I see Roderick Strong just debuting, who's one of my
Yeah.
favorite wrestlers right now. He's gonna be in NXT for like 2 years probably. When he shouldn't be. He should be in the fucking cruiserweight division right now, running around the cruiserweight division with Austin Aries, I believe. And
Well,
yet,
yeah, I was
look
gonna say
at
this Austin Aries strong tag team is gonna be
yeah,
pretty good too if they actually run with it.
and look at Austin Aries. Look at his fucking eye that I just tweeted at TR at. You know,
I mean, the thing about that though is like I
obviously it
don't
was an
think that.
accident.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. I don't think because he was in NXT that was why it happens. But I do understand what you mean by that. The analogy is a perfect way to put it too. The only thing that I'm really worried about because I don't really worry about SmackDown as much as I worry about Raw because Raw is in terrible, terrible shape in terms of writing.
Raw has been awful.
It's been terrible for
It's
weeks.
been awful ever since they had that one good week, the first week of the brand split, and then they just like kind of let up. Then they had a good week with Kevin Owens winning the title, which really was not all that much.
Yeah,
It was just the main event that was great and the opening segment. But every
that's
other week has been shit.
yeah.
Just terrible. Like I don't want to watch. Like on Monday, I looked at my phone. I was like, oh, it's 7:30. Raw's on. I didn't watch
Mhm.
Raw. It's fuck Raw.
I mean, I do watch it, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like or bash it because I'm just really annoyed by the project. It's just the fact that it feels like a chore sometimes to watch it.
If I if I can rather watch like the World Series or my NBA play or something, if I could have an alternative to anything, I'll pick that over Raw. Like that's just how I feel now. With
Mm.
SmackDown, I'll go out of my way to watch it. Now,
SmackDown is so much stronger. I just don't get it. I
it's
feel like it's the writing team. It has to be right.
It's the guy that because they had the former NXT writer that was riding SmackDown for a while,
Yeah,
and
I
now
remember saying that too.
and
At some
now
point
and
for
now
something.
he's riding fucking SmackDown now, and ever since the brand split, he's just kind of had like some more freedom to do stuff, especially with Vince and his back because Vince isn't at SmackDown. He's always at Raw though. He's always
You
at
think
Raw.
would beat everything. I would
Okay,
wish he would beat everything.
another problem with fucking SmackDown, or
Hmm.
sorry, excuse me, Raw, is
Yeah.
that the GM, the authority figures, Stephanie McMahon, Mick Foley, they have made me not like Mick Foley like to see on TV. I just don't like seeing Mick Foley on TV anymore. Like every time he pops up, I'm just like, oh, here comes another boring segment with Mick Foley. And Stephanie McMahon, ugh. Every time she
Yeah.
pops up, I'm just annoyed. I don't want to see her anymore.
I feel
And
like
like,
Stephanie's par for the course because she's like that. She's been that character for years, but it's been annoying to the point that it's not because she's a heel that she's annoying. It's just the fact that she's really annoying.
and they're in
And
every segment. It's like
pretty much.
the main storyline right now, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins is who gets to be Triple H's little bitch,
Yeah.
essentially.
Basically. Actually,
That's
yeah.
what it is, and it's like, who cares? Fuck, who cares? I don't. Why would anyone want to get invested into this? You
Another
know.
thing that really hurts about that too is the fact that we haven't seen Triple H since he interfered in that match.
Well,
There
they're
hasn't been
obviously
any payback whatsoever.
well, they're obviously dragging it out
Yeah.
for a while. They're trying to probably build it up for WrestleMania. Which I don't blame them to do because why? That's a big money matchup they can have. Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Save it for your biggest show of the year. I get that 100%. We'll talk about saving stuff for bigger shows with Survivor Series. Which, fuck, I keep on thinking we were doing Survivor Series because they've been hyping up Survivor Series so much.
I'm already
But
hyped for Survivor Series though.
yeah, although I guess we're not gonna have like a lot of title matches. It's just gonna be a lot of tags and Lesnar and Goldberg.
But I also, two things about that. I wouldn't be shocked if that's going to make the Survivor Series elimination matches mean a lot more and come out really good too on that side.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's gonna be three of them. And normally you have like one women's and like one. Well, last year they meant fucking nothing. They had one on the pre-show.
That's what I was going to say too. Yeah, that's
It,
exactly what happened. It was a really strange show. But like this time, I wouldn't be shocked if they did 4 hours again for Survivor
oh,
Series too.
please, God, no. I can't
I wouldn't be
stand.
shocked.
I can't. I can hardly stand 4 hours. I can't stand 4 hour shows.
They're going to be so
The
long though. Like
the
each of those matches are about an hour.
no, they're not all gonna
Well,
be
if
an
they're
hour.
like really, really high stakes, which these ones might be,
They probably won't.
I hope not. I probably wouldn't say so. But
We've
I expect
had
these matches to take a long
the
time.
the past 2 4 hour shows have been ugh. They just make me not want to watch like SummerSlam and WrestleMania.
And they had all all the hype in the world.
Oh, I was so excited for both of those shows,
Yeah.
and they both let me down so much. Anyways, I don't even know what we're talking about. I kind of went on a tangent with NXT, and then we went somewhere else. I was trying to keep it with Clash of Champions. That's it.
We both forgot about Clash of Champions anyway.
Because
So
Clash of Champions was a forgettable show. There was some good like wrestling on it, but you know it's kind of weird though. Like the only 2 shows that I haven't really like, I don't know. WWE hasn't really had a bad pay-per-view this year. If that makes sense. Like I'm trying to think of a bad, like it's something that I can look at as a show of a pay-per-view that they've had this year, and I say, oh, that's just awful, bad. They haven't really seemed to have that. It's
there's been a lot of
just,
stuff that's been forgettable.
I mean, yeah, there's been forgettable stuff, but
But
there
I
hasn't
agree
been
that
anything.
like,
There hasn't been anything that's bad.
yeah.
It's just their fucking television that's just cringeworthy. Especially the Brock Lesnar promo on Monday.
I don't know what that was about.
I don't know what happened.
I think it's another thing of the
They were
writing
trying
too,
to get.
because
They were trying to get Goldberg to get chanted in Brock Lesnar's hometown.
like it's just
How stupid can you be?
you just kind of you let Heyman do his thing at that point. You really don't have to do anything with him.
Well, the whole idea was trying to get Gold. They were trying to get Goldberg chants, and like as soon as they got like 5% of the crowd to chant Goldberg, they rolled with it, and then it just fell on their face. It was so bad.
So it was insanely awkward. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen Heyman do, which is a shame.
Oh,
They
hey.
even found a way to make Heyman bad.
Well, anyways,
That's horrible.
let's just move on. We'll talk about the next pay-per-view, which was No Mercy, which was at the same time as the presidential debate. And I want to say some presidential debate, not about the candidates or anything, but I started. Me and my friend were watching No Mercy, and as soon as presidential debate started, we watching No Mercy and the presidential debate on my phone because they're streaming it on Twitter.
Mhm.
And at the time, Baron Corbin and Jack Swagger were on the background.
Yeah.
So you would think I'd rather watch the presidential debate. The presidential debate made me lose so many brain cells that I decided, hey, I'm going to watch Baron Corbin and Jack Swagger wrestle over picking a president of the United States of America. God! Okay, anyways.
This is what it's come down to.
Yeah.
Screwed.
Alright, No Mercy. What did you, can we agree how stupid it was for Orton and Wyatt to go on last?
Yeah, totally.
That was fucking stupid. If you're not going to have the triple threat, have the IC title go on last.
And that's what I wouldn't even be mad if that was the original plan in the first place, because that would have been
No,
such a great way to end it.
When they did it, and especially how the match was too. That match was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Miz and Dolph had a great match. Surprised the hell out of me. And
Yeah.
then you follow it up with just not even not bad, not even all good, anything good with Orton and Wyatt.
I don't know. It was such a strange thing. It was almost like the culmination of the entire show was leading up to the return of Luke Harper, which, in retrospect, isn't a bad thing. But when you're looking at the entire card and understanding the end game for each match, it should have been logical to put Ziggler and Miz there at the end.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. But I thought the show was good. A lot of good wrestling.
It was alright.
It was alright show. It wasn't bad. Not bad by any means. I mean, the two standouts were the triple threat match, which is really, really good. And then Miz and Dolph, which was just fucking great. That was great. That was really great.
We'll see what happens with him as Intercontinental Champion, because I'm wondering if they're doing like some type of dissension between Miz and Maurice now.
Am I the only one that thinks that like he's he's more boring with the title than he is chasing the title?
I mean, now that we've gotten to that point where there's like no challenges ahead of him right now, because all he's doing right now is just teaming up with tag teams, and he's probably going to try and get into the SmackDown 5-on-5. So it's not really something that's going to be for the title for a while. So, I mean, I don't know. You're not really going to build anything for Ziggler until TLC, which is a ways away from here.
Jesus Christ.
Which, with their writing team, maybe that'll help build him a little bit more. Maybe that'll make the title look a little bit better, too. I'm sure they'll have some type of title match here and there before TLC, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And let's talk about James Ellsworth for a minute.
Oh, man.
No chin music is one of the best things I've seen in my life.
It's the best thing David Otunga has ever said in his life.
It's going to be the only good thing that he's ever said in his life. Listen, James Ellsworth, I don't... The fact that they got people to believe that James Ellsworth might win the title for a second with no chin music was great.
I have no clue how they managed to do that. I really don't.
I guess supposedly he's like either he's going to sign a contract or has signed a contract with WWE. So
I thought he had.
I guess he has. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so because they can. My whole theory with James Ellsworth is to lead him up, have Braun Strowman be the #1 entrant into the Royal Rumble, and to have James Ellsworth be the second.
Oh, good lord!
And have James Ellsworth eliminate Braun Strowman.
No,
yes, because how perfect would it have been? The whole jobbing thing with Braun Strowman on Raw was with James Ellsworth.
Oh,
and have a whole Maven and Undertaker thing from Royal Rumble 2003, and then
I was just about to say that too.
And then have Braun Strowman come in and just freaking smack the hell out of James Ellsworth, eliminate him, it'd be a great get some heat on Braun Strowman and have people would go crazy if James Ellsworth eliminated Braun Strowman. Just think about it; it would be great.
In front of all 60-some thousand people in the Alamo Dome.
Oh my
Lord!
Although I'm really, think about Rumble and Mania. I don't know what they're gonna do with Rumble. Although today at I think it was like some like Gamescom or whatever the hell in Paris, but Finn Balor was there, and he doesn't have a sling on anymore, which is a good sign.
He's going to be in ICW's Fear and Loathing.
Yeah, well, originally it was supposed to be Mick Foley.
Yeah.
And then WWE said, well, we'll give you Finn Balor because Mick Foley's going to be busy because it's on the same day as Survivor Series.
Yep.
So they sent them Finn Balor instead.
But that'll work, though.
But
I'm sure.
If we're doing, Royal Rumble predictions early on, I'm hoping it's Finn Balor comes back, faces Kevin Owens or whoever is the champion at the time for the title. And speaking of Mania, have you heard of Brock Lesnar's rumored opponent is?
Is it Shane?
Yes, rumors going around it's Shane.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they built it at SummerSlam. It would make sense after SummerSlam, sadly.
But who wants to see that match?
I mean,
no one. If fucking The Undertaker couldn't beat Brock Lesnar cleanly, who in the hell is going to think Shane McMahon is?
I don't think a lot of the audience is going to think about that, though. That's the one thing. Because we thought that with Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, we were like, okay, this is going to end up being like the craziest match of all time because Dean Ambrose is smaller and he's going to get super crafty in this match. I think that's going to be the same thing with Shane, but it's probably not going to be as good.
Then Brock Lesnar's going to get lazy. But, okay, here's the thing. Fucking Dean Ambrose is more believable to beat Brock Lesnar than Shane McMahon is. Come on. Yeah, don't even fucking fight that.
It depends on what match it is, I think.
Oh my god, you're going to hell. You're going
Because
to
we've
hell.
been there with Shane a ton of times. He's gone against. We've seen what he's done, and we've seen his track record.
In 2016. In 2016.
Still, though, they tried to do that with the Undertaker. Still, and that made us think that he can go into the cell and beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
They only thought that because fucking people thought Shane. I don't know. I didn't think Shane was going to win at all. But that's just me. What the fuck do I know?
We'll
I don't think it's going to be Shane though. I have a pick for someone else.
Roman.
No.
Who? Kevin Owens.
He is. I wish Kevin. Well, there were rumors that it was going to be Kevin. So another one that I saw a possibility was that it was, like you said, Roman Reigns could be facing Brock Lesnar. And
I think that's my top three: is Shane, Roman, and Kevin Owens.
I think it was Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar at the Rumble, and then have Roman Reigns win the Rumble for some reason, or not win the Rumble. Sorry, excuse me, but it would be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at Mania. I think that was the whole idea. I think the WrestleMania card is AJ Styles versus John Cena. Kevin Owens hopefully against Finn Balor is my hope if Finn Balor's ready. I think you have Finn Balor come in and win the Rumble. And then I think it's Brock Lesnar versus The Rock.
Really?
I think it's Brock and Rock. I mean, they've been hyping up this match since like WrestleMania 28 since Brock Lesnar came back. It's been like hyped up for the past 4 years. I mean, The Rock. I don't know if The Rock's down. Well, remember originally it was supposed to be Brock versus Rock at Mania 32, but that never happened.
Yo, you know what other match we have for that card?
What's that?
Big Show versus Shaq, baby.
Oh my
sir.
fucking god!
Let's go.
I'm gonna
Let's go.
Thank God I just bought 4 bottles of bleach.
I just remember that. I totally just remember that. And I'm probably going to go with it, too.
And I guess Undertaker might not be on the show. Although Undertaker was at the Cleveland Cavaliers game.
And somehow he looked really good.
He did. And what was funny with me was, in some pictures, he looked like a wax figure of him.
I was looking at Instagram leaving work, and I was like, is that a wax figure of the Undertaker?
That's what I thought. I was like, what the hell? And then I saw other pictures of him walking around and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, that's the Undertaker.
He's giving players dap.
I know. Oh boy. God. Jesus Christ.
I was shook. And the Ultimate Warrior's Widow was there, too.
Yeah, that was awkward.
That entire thing. I didn't expect that to happen. Thanks, LeBron.
Fucking LeBron.
LeBron out there in Cleveland making magic happen.
Gotta win titles and stuff.
Reviving the dead. Somehow. I don't know how you're doing this.
Anyways, is there anything else we need to talk about for Hell in a Cell?
I don't think so. What are you thinking about this TNA lawsuit? I don't know.
Oh god, we haven't talked about TNA yet. So I hope Billy Corgan fights it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't want because originally, for people who don't know, Billy Corgan is suing TNA for a bunch of money and whatnot. And ever since he's been suing TNA, or maybe not suing, I guess, but taking him to court, trying to get his money back or trying to buy the company. Which I don't know why the fuck you would want to buy this company. Why would you want to buy this company? Because ever since he came out, it's like every production crews, banks, flight, just a bunch of people, a bunch of companies and stuff have came out saying, yeah, TNA owes me this amount of money. TNA owes me this amount of money.
The truth's coming out.
Yeah, the truth's coming out, and it's about goddamn. I think this is the end of TNA. This has to be. This has to be. If this company survives from here, I don't know. Okay, so they're not gonna have any money by the time the next tapings come about.
Yeah.
The Fight Network, which I don't know why they're trying to help them out. I guess they like the Fight. You're a fucking TV station. Like it doesn't make any sense. The Fight Network is trying to pay off Billy Corgan to stay out of court, and yeah, so that they can just kind of drop it, I guess. And I don't think Billy's doing that. Which
Such a
think
strange story.
it's just so weird, and it's just like it's like about time, honestly. Dixie Carter, she she's the she's the reason why this company has gone down. It's all her fault. It
Yep.
is all her fault. She had opportunity after opportunity to sell it to other people, to make a dime, to make a buck, and she didn't do it. And now look where she's at. She's lost millions of money of her dad's money, millions and millions and millions. So yeah,
Freaking insane story.
you have anything to comment on it?
I feel like a lot of people are going to hate TNA because of that 2010, 2009 whole type of fiasco where Hogan and Bischoff and Rusev were in. I mean, lately they've been on a much better run, I should say. A lot of it on the back of the Hardys.
Bound for Glory was
it was alright.
and no.
It was alright. The Great War, I really loved it for what it was.
The main event was so disappointing.
Yeah.
That was
But
just,
Lashley as champion was pretty dope until he lost to Eddie Edwards after.
which makes no fucking sense.
Not at all.
No sense whatsoever. If you did a good build to it, great. That's great because Lashley has been a great champion for like the amount of months he's had it, and then all of a sudden he loses it like the next night after fucking Eddie Edwards lost to Aaron Rex in the pay-per-view before, on the night before.
And that wasn't necessarily his fault, but it was still like when you're placing the cards and you're looking at it from that perspective before that Impact show, like that's a really weird decision.
Yeah.
Especially when you're looking at Lashley, who just beat EC3, who's like one of the there couldn't have been more than 5 people who have cleanly beaten EC3 by now.
Yeah, probably. EC3's been really protected. I really think he should just leave TNA. They all should.
We'll see. I think he's probably loving it in TNA now because he's up in this huge upper echelon of the people in there compared to where he was in WWE and how he left WWE. So it's like,
oh no, yeah, he's helped himself since being in TNA. He's made himself, I should say. But I don't know. Just think it's time to go. I don't know. But what do I know? I'm just some homosexual on the internet.
apparently, the final verdict on the hearing is supposed to be on Monday too. So,
well, good.
I guess we'll learn about all this crazy stuff then.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Oh, and did you watch Bola?
Yes. Yes.
God, what a fucking amazing.
Can I have a hot take?
Go.
I don't think that 6-man should be 5 stars.
What?
I think it's really close. I think it's really good, but I don't think it's really justified for 5 stars.
What kind of drugs are you on?
I think that's me personally. Like, as a spectacle and as when you're looking at it from the standpoint of the sheer amount of athleticism that was in there, that should alone be at least 4 or 5. But I don't know if it should be 5 stars for that.
That is my match of the year so far this year.
Out of everything, really?
Yeah. I loved that match so much. And you gotta think about this too. Dave Meltzer was there at the show live. That helps. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. But man, I loved this show so much. I love the show and I love the match. I had so much. Okay, first off, the finishing sequence was amazing.
Yeah.
The fucking going for the Meltzer driver into a fucking cutter was one of the most craziest spots I've ever seen in my life.
And ACH did it again in NJPW too, weeks after.
It was like, okay, yeah, I'll just do it and look a little bit better. And then fucking the Meltzer driver into a shooting star press There was a Shooting Star Press Meltzer Driver, I should say, was amazing. I just loved the match. I loved it so much. It's not my match. I shouldn't say it's my match of the year, but it's definitely in my top 5, like
Yeah.
100%. I think maybe like some of Kenny Omega's matches in New Japan, though, especially when he had against Naito, was probably my favorite this year. But
And
well,
that's why I put that as like a 5-star match because of the story that went into it.
yeah.
There's no story with that 6-man.
Well, because it was just a random 6-man tag that happened on a
Yeah.
PWG show. I mean, that's yeah,
And he's done that before, like that Dragon Gate match in ROH.
yeah.
That happened, and I
Oh,
got
that
nothing.
match was fantastic.
Yeah, that match is crazy.
Yeah, and then this was that was fantastic as well. That was great.
And there's one guy who I really think outside of WWE who's doing really good, but doesn't really get a lot of hype. I don't know if I should spoil the winner of
Oh,
Bola.
fuck it. Who
But
cares? It's been shipped for like a month now.
has it really? Gosh, it's been that long. Good lord. But yeah, I think out of the guys in the indies right now who aren't in WWE who should be is Marty Scurll. I really
Oh,
love him.
Marty Skull is great.
He's
I
pretty
love
good.
him.
His character in general is so good.
Fucking Will Ospreay. Also, speaking of finals, Will
Yeah.
Ospreay. I
And
love Will
I'm
Ospreay is
sure he was a
so
favorite.
good.
I'm
Oh
sure he
yeah.
was a favorite going in. I'm really happy that Scurll won it. That was pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. Uh, but shit. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Will Ospreay. I think he needs to calm down a little bit. I'm kind of. I'm kind of worried that he's going to get injured. He's had a lot of injuries, and he's 24.
That's what I was gonna say. Understatement of the century.
Yeah,
Like he's been destroying his body. It's insane.
yeah. And Trevor Lee is really good too, and he's
Yeah.
only 23.
He doesn't look it.
No, he
I'll tell you
doesn't.
that.
He's freaking for how young he is. He's incredibly great. It's crazy. And Jeff Cobb is great too, man. Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
The thumbs in the ass train.
That Liger led.
Oh my
Proud.
god. What the fuck did I just
I've never
watch?
seen Liger have so much pride in anything
And
until that.
anything until getting his thumb shoved up his ass and taking it.
How about that for a match to leave on from Cedric, Tommaso, and Brian Kingston?
Oh god, yeah. Well, it fits for Tommaso because it seems like every year you always they always have he always gives someone a thumb in the ass every bola. So why not have just a big thumb in the ass train? Also, Matthew Riddle, he's good too.
Yeah, crossing the MMA. I'm really glad they had a match with. I think he had a match with O'Reilly. I'm sure.
Yes, yes,
I don't know
yes.
if he had a match with. I don't think he had a match with Cobb, did he? No, he
No,
had that meetup in the Tin Man with Cobb though, which was a pretty good moment because both
he
of them are
he,
really great wrestlers.
he needs to put some goddamn shoes on.
Again, that's the MMA.
I don't get, but well, with wrestling, that's how you break your feet.
Yeah, Rusev. So,
Rusev, Taz, a lot of guys.
jeez.
But yeah, no, Bola was great. And
As
Tommy,
always.
oh, by the way, we forgot to mention the people who just signed with the Performance Center. Obviously, Roderick Strong, Tommy End, which has kind of been rumored, but it's finally confirmed.
I'm really interested in seeing how they actually bring him up.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know. They'll probably look at him and be like, "Oh, this guy has a lot of tattoos. He's like CM Punk." But he's not. He's from the Netherlands, and he probably
Wouldn't be shocked if he had some demonic tattoos on him as well. I think he does.
probably. Probably.
This is pretty strange, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to explain that to our kids.
Yeah. What was it? Fucking some big fat guy I've never heard of.
Eddie Kingston is in there too.
Eddie Kingston?
Yep, he was
Boy.
before Tommy Ends.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. I remember this. Lol. All right. Yeah, that's all I really gotta say. Guess it's time for our main event of the evening.
Finally, yes.
Hell in a Cell.
How are you feeling about this show so far? Looking at this card right now.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at this.
Lots of duds on this. Lots of duds on this show.
Yeah, sadly.
Although there's like the three NSL matches I'm looking forward to, but 3 is way too much. Oh
A lot
my,
of people saying that too.
it's way
I
too
keep just
much.
going straight back to 2009, which is not necessarily a bad show in my opinion.
Yeah, but it was. I still by the main event came around, which for some reason was a tag team match.
DX
Yeah.
Legacy, which was a very innovative sell. I don't think it was that good, but it was innovative in how they executed it.
I don't know why it was the main event though.
I don't know either. It was really weird. DX was main eventing everything though.
Very true though.
They main evented that. They main evented TLC.
Yeah.
Dumb over.
Anyways, I guess I'll just start with the pre-show match. We have Cedric Alexander, Lindsay Dorado, and Sin Cara versus. Which, by the way, hold on. Why is Sin Cara in this division and not Neville?
I don't know. What is Neville doing?
Fucking nothing.
Literally, what is he
He
doing?
lost in 2 minutes on a house show to Braun Strowman, by the way. Let me just point that out.
Neville did?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that match?
Because they're fucking idiots, that's why.
I'm confused.
When? We're all confused, okay? Be confused with us. Versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and I'm not even. I don't want to pronounce the name.
Area?
Area Devari.
You know Davari. Gosh darn it.
Fight me. Who do you think's gonna win this match? The Faces.
Yeah. There you go. Good.
That's all I gotta say about that. Yeah.
I'm really interested though because I really do enjoy cruiserweight 6-mans or any tag matches in general. That's what I've been waiting for. It's just more matches.
You know, I watched just yesterday. I watched it was the 19th anniversary of Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero at Halloween Havoc, 1997. Did a highlight for that. Go check that out on my channel. But I just watched that, and then I watched the Cruiserweights now. It just makes me sad.
Now, we have to remember that we haven't even scratched the surface though, because we still have.
I'm talking more about how they've been booked and how they've it's just that everything that they did right on the Cruiserweight Classic, they've done wrong on Raw. They're just so bland. There's nothing to them. Like with WCW, every week it was like looking forward to the cruiserweights. It was like if you didn't like anything else, hey, at least the cruiserweights will be there. Kind of like what John Cena did with the Open Challenge.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, so a bad Raw. Okay, great. Well, we have John Cena Open Challenge. That's good enough, for you. That's what the cruiserweights should be. And every week it just seems like the cruiserweights are just there.
I don't think they've had enough time compared to the CWC though.
I mean,
because when you look at the CWC, they get like 20 minutes and uninterrupted.
It's not their fault. It's just, I don't know. It's just they also get put in the fucking third hour of Raw, which is the dead spot.
Yeah, that's true. I'd put them in first hour for sure.
Oh yeah, that's what you should do. That's what they did with WCW. They opened up the show with the cruiserweights.
And again, I really think you should do more multi-man matches. The tag matches are going to be the most exciting thing when you have like no story. And if you have to start a story, that's a good place to start.
Anyways, Bayley versus Dana Brooke. God, that segment on Raw was awful.
I feel so bad for Bayley. I really do. I really do.
I hate fucking this. I hate this company.
I'm going to feel really bad after saying this too. But who do you think is going to win?
Oh, Bayley. Fucking why not?
It's going to be Dana Brooke.
No, it's not.
Because I think they're pushing her as the next contender for Sasha. Spoilers.
I just banged my head into the back of my bed. How do you feel?
I was going to say that.
I actually did, and it hurts now. My head hurts. I have a concussion.
Why did you do that? You could have just like banged on something else and just said that you actually banged your head.
This is what happened. I did it once, and it hurt, so then I banged my arm on it.
There you go. Good job.
So I'm done. I just want to drink some bleach.
Controlled by the best host in the game right now.
Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. God, had they done fuck all with the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
I think they win here, though.
I mean, I think they do too, but my God, they have Carl Anderson lose in fucking a minute.
I mean, anyone who loses to Enzo is kind of screwed up.
Carl Anderson, right, was in New Japan facing Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP Intercontinental title just about, I want to say, about 3 or 4 months before he came over. Now look where he's at. He's doing goddamn fuck all.
I feel bad for Gallows as well after what he had in his first stint. Now you're looking at him now, and it's like you don't really know where it's going. I'm still trying so hard to be patient with him, but it's not looking good, especially how Raw is being booked right now.
I hate life.
It's really strange, and we're going to get to the tag match. I'm going to explain that a little bit more, but it's really strange how Cesaro and Sheamus are being booked a lot better than the club right now as legit tag teams. Not a lot better, actually. I wouldn't say that much, but as far as tag teams go, I'm much more invested in Cesaro and Sheamus than I am Anderson and Gallows. This is a shame.
Then we have the Raw Tag Team Champions, New Day versus Cesaro. The New Day wins. New Day is holding those titles until they break the record, which is fine.
Yeah, well deserved.
I don't care. I don't know how much longer they have, though.
I don't either. I don't know who can take it off them. I don't know who. It really doesn't look like any credible tag team can actually do it, especially if the club win or lose in this case as well.
I've said it should have been the club a while ago, but it never happened. So I don't know who.
Good lord.
I don't know who.
At one point that's been made, and it never even dawned on me that this is the case, but someone said that the New Day didn't need the tag titles to actually be a thing, and I agree. And again, I don't think that it's a bad thing that they're going to break the record, which they probably more than likely are. It's a great thing for them, and I'm very, very happy about it, but they don't really need the tag titles.
So, well, New Day, it's good that they had the tag titles, because it makes them not irrelevant, but a good tag team, I guess. I don't know.
It makes them look good. It does.
Yeah. So they needed it, but they didn't need it for this long. But hey, they're having it. Why not? I like them. Fuck it. Fuck the police. And
I'm sure. I really do think that they'll lead the Raw brand to a great, great defeat in Survivor Series. I don't think they'll win.
Party, blase,
I'm really excited to see
become...
Slater and Rhino against the New Day at some point in this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would go over well.
Jesus Christ. Then we have the Cruiserweight Championship. TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick. I think this might be the one title change on the show. I think Brian Kendrick is winning it.
Gosh, it feels weird to say that. It's probably going to be literally no changes on the show, but I might have to go with Perkins again.
I'm going Brian Kendrick. I think Brian Kendrick is taking this. I don't know why he's wanting fucking TJ Perkins to lay down in the middle of a ring and have him win. But that's not a good storyline.
It's not, but
it's something WCW would have done in 2001.
If I had to do it, I would have done it earlier. I would have done it probably a little bit earlier and then had him beat the crap out of him afterwards. Just kind of figure it out then. But he's understandably desperate. I don't think that really translates as best as anything else could. So
but
again, I do
why would he be?
Yeah.
So why? Okay, it made sense in the Cruiserweight Classic because this was his last opportunity. This was before he signed to Raw. It made sense in the Cruiserweight Classic, but then he gets signed to Raw, and he keeps on saying it's his last chance.
Because he's still in the sea of everyone else.
But he's on fucking Raw.
Barely. We're still talking about how the Cruiserweight bland is crap.
He's on Raw. He's been on Raw the most out of pretty much everyone in the Cruiserweight division, besides TJ Perkins, maybe. So yeah.
I will say this though, you know, what would be really good if we had Cedric Alexander and Brian Kendrick after this for without the title.
Well, I think they realize that they have something in Cedric Alexander. They're just waiting to use him
And Rich Swann.
for the right opportunity. Yeah. Rich Swann just beat Brian Kendrick, which is why I feel like Brian Kendrick is winning, and they're going to do Rich Swann versus Brian Kendrick right after. That's my thought. That was my thought process. But then again, WWE always does something weird. Okay, now we have the 3 Hell in a Cell matches. Rusev versus Roman.
Does this open the show? Yes or no?
Well, okay, so...
A cell is going to open. That's guaranteed.
Yes, but here's what I've heard from the Observer. Is that WWE feels that they either have to have the Women's Championship start off the show or have it end the show. Because they feel like if they have the match that starts off the show, then people won't leave because they feel like they'll miss the whole show. And
I remember hearing about this.
And if they have the match finish the show, then, you know, obviously they've watched the whole show. Which I feel like it should go on last. I don't feel like it should. It doesn't deserve to go on last, but, I mean, just have it go on last. It's a throwaway show. Just have it go on last. It's not like it's Mania. It's not like it's Survivor Series. It's not like it's SummerSlam. Just have it go on last. That's my thought. I think this starts off the show. But who's going to win this match? Roman Reigns.
I got Roman. Yeah, I got Roman too.
I hope it's good.
I think it will be. Because Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns was actually a very decent show last year. And that also started the show, I think. If I remember correctly.
Second match.
Oh, yeah, true.
Which was weird. Which was very weird for Hell in a Cell.
It was a great match, though. It was actually really good.
It was really good, yeah. But, so it should be good. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I mean, Roman Reigns has been good on pay-per-views as of late.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's been the case for a while now. Because in 2015, he had a great run on
Yeah.
pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah. 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 Oh, you know what? The Women's Championship might just go on last.
Are you saying that because you're looking at the preview?
Yeah, because they have it listed as it being the last match. So.
Yeah, it's quote unquote top billing, I guess would be the kind of way to say it.
Anyways, we'll talk about the match in a little bit. The Universal Championship, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. I have Kevin Owens, but I wouldn't be surprised if Seth took the title if Chris Jericho costed Kevin Owens a championship. But then again, that would make Kevin Owens kind of a face. Kinda.
I'd be so down for Jericho versus Owens at Survivor Series, but I know it won't happen.
It'd be 2 Canadians.
Exactly.
I was really hoping they do Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at Survivor Series, but they're not gonna do it because Sami Zayn's in a feud with Braun Strowman.
Not gonna lie, I'm actually really interested in that feud though, with Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman.
I feel like they're doing it only so that they can get Braun Strowman better because I guess it's kind of a confidence to Sami Zayn.
They are.
Because they know Sami Zayn's a good worker, so why not have him work with Braun Strowman so Braun Strowman can get better?
They also know he's the best underdog.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. And they're going to probably build him as that too, which I'm completely not mad at.
Yeah. Anyway, so you got Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins?
I think it'll be an interesting match too. I'm not sure how brutal both these guys will get. Seth Rollins got really crazy in the 2014 match with Ambrose. Got really crazy.
It was a feud that needed it.
Yes.
Oh, and my garage is going off. But yes, it was a feud that needed that craziness.
Yeah.
I don't think they're both going to jump off the side of the cell. Probably not. Maybe in the main event in the women's match, because they might just kill each other.
That's why I would say that match is going to go on last, but I'll talk about it later. I do think that Kevin Owens might get pretty brutal in this match, though, and I think it's going to be warranted for him to win this match.
One spot that I've been wanting them to do forever, not forever, with their match of Clash of Champions, was, you know how Seth Rollins goes to the top rope or springboard knee?
Yeah.
I just really wanted Kevin Owens to catch him midair and hit a powerbomb. Just think about that. Oh, that would be awesome. But then again, Normally when I think of this stuff, it doesn't happen. Like, I thought Brock Lesnar was going to hit a F5 reverse into an RKO midair. Didn't happen.
They tried it, but it wasn't midair. It was like, oh, I'm stunned. Oh, I'm going to take an RKO now. Like, it was really weird when it
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
on the house show.
I didn't even see the house show. I know the match lasted like 4 minutes, though.
Oh, good lord, did it really?
It lasted like 4 minutes. I know that.
Jeez. They
Yeah,
only put out like 3 clips of it on
yeah.
WWE's YouTube.
They came out, like, Randy Orton came out, attacked Brock with, like, a chair or whatever, hit an RKO, Brock kick out, and then he got some heat on Brock, and then, like, Brock, I think maybe did a move or so, and then hit an F5 and won. It was, like, 5 minutes, and it was, like, the main event.
Gosh darn
It
it.
started off good, people said, and then it just fucking ended. Which just shows, I just hope Brock Lesnar, actually, Brock Lesnar, I want to talk about Brock Lesnar for a second, because I've been watching some of his old matches back in his first run in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy is, and even now, I mean, the Royal Rumble match, the Triple Threat, he's such a good wrestler. And
But
yet,
dude,
he's so lazy.
like, I'm telling you, and I stand by this for the years that I've been saying this, but I think he's the WWE's LeBron James. Like, he's so insanely athletic and powerful, and he can do pretty much whatever he wants in
Yeah.
this league.
Yeah, and then, but he just, if he went out there and just, he could, like, even tried a little bit to have a good match, like a little bit like he did in the Royal Rumble match, the Triple Threat match. My God, like he could be just like one of the best wrestlers of all time.
It would be ridiculous. It's
And
insane.
he's so good, and yet he just kind of just does his thing.
I guarantee you that people, when they look at him now and they only know of him of this stint, they won't think about his athleticism. Well, they might think of his athleticism, but they won't think about his background in wrestling
Yeah.
and his insane background in collegiate wrestling, I should say, as kind of a technical standpoint.
I mean, here's the thing. This guy, he is really, like, just, like, as a professional wrestler,
Mm-hmm.
he's really good.
Yeah.
And yet, he just kind of develops a style of German suplex, just because it's easy for him.
That's what
And-
sells, too.
Yeah, but I mean,
Exactly.
like, I don't know.
So this is kind of his stick now.
I just really think that, like, if he tried more, which he doesn't have to, he just goes in there, does his thing, and he gets paid the same no matter what bump he takes,
It's kind of what Ambrose said with the Mania match.
Exactly.
He was like, we're just kind of going to do it at the match. And he wasn't really happy with what came out of it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be either, because the match was so disappointing. Anyways.
And
I mean,
that also, now I think about it, that really worries me about what could have happened with Bryan as well. Because even he's like, that was my dream match with having Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. But then you look at it and it's like, if that was based off of just those suplexes, I wonder how it would have went.
well, so that was before Brock Lesnar re-signed with WWE. I think ever since he re-signed, right after the Roman Reigns match, I should say, he's kind of had just like whatever matches every show. Besides the Taker match at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
He had the match. Well, he re-signed before he had the match with Roman, so I guess you could count that, but I don't. So they have Seth Rollins. He faced Seth Rollins at Battleground, which was fucking whatever. His match at SummerSlam, which was okay, but the finish was whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then his match at Hell in a Cell was great against Taker. I thought that was a really great match.
I think a lot of it is based off of his respect for Taker as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And then his match with Dean Ambrose was whatever, and his match against Orton was whatever. So I don't know. It just seems like ever since he re-signed, he knows that he's going to get paid, and he's going to take whatever he wants. So
That's crazy.
But I mean, I'm telling you, he's one of the best. But he doesn't try. He's like Orton. Orton doesn't try a lot. Orton's really great, but if he tried, like, I know they all try, but like, if they just like went out there and worked their asses off, that's what I'm trying to say.
And maybe that's a lot of it because, I keep saying because of a lot of it, but I think that's also because he's, as Seth Rollins said, he's playing it safe, quote unquote. Like, that's his style, is that he wants to keep it as clean, as perfect as possible.
I mean, Dean Ambrose said that.
Orton, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Seth Rollins said that on Talk of Jericho, I think.
Oh, for Orton. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I thought you were talking about Lesnar. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, Kevin Owens winning this match.
I'm hoping they break out a ladder for that match. I feel like it's possible.
That'd be interesting. The only time they've
We don't
done
really see ladders.
in Hell in a Cell, the only time we have is Bad Blood with Shawn and Triple H.
And I guess technically SummerSlam 2008, but that was for like the ending sequence. But
By
like,
the way,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I really want to see that match now. Just now I think about it. That SummerSlam 2008 match.
Oh, Edge.
After I get out of here.
Edge and Taker. Hey, listen. After we talk about this main event, I was thinking just right now. Let's list off some of our favorite Hell in a Cell matches.
Yes.
Just to go over them, because I had that in my mind before we did this, and then I completely forgot about it till now. So yeah, let's do this. The main event, which hopefully is the main event.
I agree.
Sasha versus Charlotte, which they're calling Charlotte Flair now.
That's what I was saying too. Yeah, I'm really interested about that.
Like Natalia said it on SmackDown, Charlotte Flair. They're saying Charlotte Flair like she finally has a last name, which is
on the contract too. Yeah.
Which is weird. Like like fucking wrestlers, they don't have first names. Like Neville was Adrian Neville, changed it to Neville, and then like for a long time that was the way with men wrestlers. They only had last names, like Cesaro, Antonio Cesaro. Whereas female wrestlers, they don't have last names. Paige, Natalia. Like it's weird. Now they're just going full names. I guess it's Alexander Rusev.
Yeah. I think that was because of what Biggie, I remember saying something like that too, where he just thought that Vince didn't think that was like as much of a superstar name, I think is what he was saying. Like if Rusev sounds a lot stronger than Alexander Rusev does, and
I like Rusev a lot better.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
do. But I thought
I guess that's what the thing was.
I guess Adrian Neville. I don't know. They all have A's.
That's true. That's true.
He doesn't like A's. He doesn't like A's.
He doesn't like sneezing, and he doesn't like A's.
No. Okay. Sasha and Charlotte. I think hopefully Sasha breaks Charlotte's record.
That's what I think is going to be the end game too. Like you're looking at this from the stakes of it's in the cell. It's quite possibly a main event. It's already kind of technically made as a main event.
Well, they've called it 3 main events. They've hyped it up as 3 main events. Have you seen the ads? It's you only have 1 main event, and that's the last show. Sure, you have 3 big matches, but they should have just said 3 cell matches. That's what they should have said. 3 cell matches.
That sells itself, though. That is really good.
Exactly.
Like that's even though I know a lot of us are dreading it. Like 3 cell matches is a lot of work to come by. It's very rare. But anyway, like you're talking about this being inside a cell. It's the first ever for women. It's quite possibly going to be the main event. It's in Boston, and it's against someone who's undefeated at pay-per-views. Like, that's tailor-made for Sasha to win, I think.
They have main event.
Yes.
Oh, but can we talk about something that the women are so excited to be in this match? They're so excited. Whereas Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins don't want to be in it. Like Kevin Owens, like, no, I don't want to be in a cell match. That ended Mick Foley's career, which didn't really, but.
I think that was pushed pretty well on Monday as well, though, because you talked about
with Mick Foley, came out was like.
Not even with Mick Foley as well. Like you had Seth Rollins, he's saying, "I'm going to tear you apart," basically line for line, paraphrasing a little bit, but. Like, he's really talking about taking out Kevin Owens on Sunday. And the same thing happened when he was talking to Kevin Owens, where he's literally talking about just maiming him, basically, inside the cell.
Or Tim, or Terry, or whatever they decided to name him.
Yeah, John. I don't know what his name is. It's weird. But, like,
But the women are just, like, so excited to be in this match.
I'm so excited for them to be in the match. I really am.
I'm so excited to be in the cell, and then everyone else is like, no, the cell is awful. You don't want to be in it. Like, what? Make up your fucking mind.
I think they'll soon realize that, though. That's the weird thing about this, too, is that it's based off of, hey, we're women, we're going to make history, instead of, hey, I really hate you, and I want to tear your partners up. Which I'm not mad at. It's very, very, very historic, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of these happen in the history of this company. But it's going to be pretty brutal, I think. I don't think a lot of people were really expecting this to be as brutal as I think it could be.
Well, hey, I just hope they use some weapons.
Do they need to at this point? I think they're going to use the cell like crazy.
Probably. I mean, they want to be just like the men. You know what's funny with Sasha is she seems like she always wants to do everything that no other woman has done. Like, I don't know.
Same with Charlotte.
She's always trying to make history. Like she said like on her Facebook like I want to be in the Royal Rumble. I want to be the first woman to win the Royal Rumble.
I don't blame her for that. That's a dope aspiration. I don't blame her at all. I think, honestly, I'm going to go out here and say this too. I think this is going to be match of the night. I think it will be.
Probably.
Because of how relentless these two are probably going to be in terms of going out there and making the most memorable match possible.
I just hope they both don't die.
I fear that. I fear that a lot because Charlotte's been breaking out so many gosh darn flips, and Sasha's willing to go insane in the cell.
I just don't want them to die. That's all I hope. Just don't kill yourselves. Like kind of like with we didn't even talk about ROH, the triple threat ladder match.
Yeah,
we didn't even talk about that. Going into that match, I was hoping nobody would kill themselves. I'm afraid of the same thing here.
Dude, no. With ladder war, that's expected. Someone's going to hurt.
Yeah, they're gonna get hurt, but I'm just hoping like no one gets seriously hurt. Same here with Sasha and Charlotte. I don't want because Sasha, she's really young and she's already had a lot of back problems, and she's still getting thrown around there like a rag doll. Like I just really hope. I just don't want her to be. I want them to have long careers. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's actually, you know what? That's the best analogy I'm going to put at right now. That match right there. You have Christopher Daniels knowing that this is probably going to be his last time as champion, his last time, quite possibly in ROH. And he's out there, and he's like, I'm going to do as much as possible to make this the most memorable performance that I've ever put on. And I think that's going to be what Sasha and Charlotte are thinking about separately.
It's crazy. Christopher Daniels is there like in their 40s, and they did that match. That's pretty awesome.
It's basically based on Daniels. Daniels did all the work there.
Yeah.
In my
well,
opinion.
Kazarian got messed up too. He was the one that really needed to go to the hospital. Because Daniels went to the hospital too, but Kazarian was the one that had stitches in the back of his head.
Kazarian, I think, took that driver through the table off the turnbuckle, right?
I think, yeah, and he messed up like the back of his head or something.
That's probably what did it, because that was insane. Machine Guns didn't really do anything in that match, but Daniels did way more than he did.
First off, ROH tables, oh my god, those things are not safe. When you go through them, they just explode into a million pieces.
And they do the worst possible things with those tables.
Every time I see a table spot in ROH, I always see they're always cut up. Everyone's cut up, like
I
their
remember
backs.
multiple Jay Drillers from Jay Briscoe through tables. Like it doesn't get much easier to watch in ROH. It really doesn't.
It doesn't. So yeah, Sasha Banks is probably gonna win. I hope. I'm pretty sure she's gonna win. I said the same thing about SummerSlam. But look what happened.
SummerSlam and this show, in my opinion, are two completely different things. Especially when you saw how Sasha was going out after this too, or after SummerSlam, I should say.
Yep.
So, you gotta go with Sasha in this match. I think you have to. That's the best possible way to end the show too.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be main event and
in
Sasha to win
in their hometown, in Sasha's hometown. Because I feel like if you have this match like in the middle of the show and have Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins main event, like it just wouldn't. It doesn't. Like the crowd, I feel like would turn on the match. They'd just start booing.
I'm really worried there's going to be another run-in for that match too.
Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably Jericho interfering, or maybe Triple H, but...
That's what I was going to say too.
Maybe Triple H, but I fucking don't know anymore with that guy. I don't know anymore with him.
Insane.
And there's no way that Roman Reigns and Rusev is going to main event. But, I mean, hey, we just saw Orton and fucking Wyatt main event a pay-per-view. So, there's crazier things that have happened.
If I were them, I'd probably do the same thing that I did with No Mercy and announce that as the main event before the show. For Sasha and Charlotte.
Who the fuck is calling me?
Who is calling you?
Great Falls MT. Don't know what that is. They've called me twice now.
Telemarketers be crazy.
I ain't gonna answer the phone. If you have something important, leave them a fucking voicemail.
Exactly.
Anyways, so yeah, hopefully Sasha wins.
Hopefully so.
And hopefully he goes in the main event. So that's the card. Hopefully, it's a good show. You have some good matches on there that should be fun. And yeah, so let's talk about some of our favorite Hell in a Cell matches. You want to rank them top 5 or
Oh, good lord! Why would you do
what?
that on the spot? No,
Cause I don't know. Okay,
I'm
just
in pain. No, I'm
just
already hurt.
okay. So let's think of some great Hell in a Cell matches.
My all-time underrated cell match for sure is Batista versus Triple H.
That was a really good one. Thinking
It's
back on
so
it,
good.
it's really good. The story that they told, just every. I remember they had a barbed wire steel chair.
Yeah,
Like goodness gracious, yeah, that was a really good match, and not a lot of people think of. Um,
exactly.
Probably the most overrated, Shawn Michaels and Triple H at Bad Blood. Remember that match went 40 fucking minutes, and I remember like just seeing highlights of it and people going, "No, this is one of the best matches of all time." You watch that full match, it just drags on way too long.
I think that was necessary though, because you're looking at it
It was
from.
okay, fine. It was a good fucking finish to a story, but like you didn't need it. It at a certain point I got it, but at a certain point there was like, okay, I get that there's a story going on, but this match has gone on for way too long. Just end it.
Yeah,
I don't care anymore.
I was gonna say like that match happened in what like June of 2004. And I think that was a match that was built since basically SummerSlam 2002.
Yeah.
Like on and off. That's pretty much how long it had been going on.
If
So if
it
you want
had,
to talk about one of the matches that needed to be in the cell, it was that one.
no, it was definitely needed. I just didn't think it needed to go 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, which by the way, we didn't talk about this, but on SmackDown, is Orton heel now?
I don't know. I don't know. It could be another situation with Brian. Remember that?
Oh
Like
yeah.
in right before the Royal Rumble.
Maybe.
It could be.
But supposedly he is missing Survivor Series because he has a, kid expected on the 22nd. And Survivor Series is on the 20th. So he's
Hmm.
probably going to stay home.
Gosh, it's an awkward time. I hope they actually like go through with this storyline. That would
Yeah.
be really interesting.
Anyways, yeah, best Hell in a Cell matches. I think probably the best one ever is the first one.
Yeah.
Shawn and Taker was
Mhm.
so great. Although there's some really close ones behind it though that I think are really great that give it a run for its money. Um, fucking obviously the most famous one is Mick versus Taker.
And that's what I want to say too. Is that's the difference. I think that Mankind and Undertaker is the most memorable, but it's not the best of all time.
It's hard to
And that's where
watch.
I definitely think that.
I can't. I've only watched like the full match maybe once or twice,
Yeah.
and that's just because like it's hard to watch. I just can't do it. I can't watch it. It's just because it's like, he gets knocked out. Like if he got knocked out now, you would know. Like a match wouldn't have continued at all.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I'm
Anyways,
trying to think of other. I mean, I know one of my other ones that are really good, and apparently WWE.com saw this as the best match in the cell of all time. It was Mick Foley versus Triple H. I know, way out 2000.
no, it was
I
really
don't think it's the
good. It
best one.
was good.
I think that's top 5 though, but I don't think it's the best one.
Maybe top 5. I think something that's either 2 or 3 for me is Brock Lesnar versus Taker at
Which one?
the first one. Excuse me, I forgot that they had 2. The one in
I think so.
2003 at No Mercy.
I agree.
That was really great. Even their second one was good. It wasn't top
Yeah.
5, but it was really good.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It was very much a great match. And it was kind of a story to it too, in terms of not even about how brutal it was, but how much of a passing of the torch it was.
Hmm.
So you're looking at Brock Lesnar at this huge rise, becoming WWE champion in the same summer, going over to Rock, and then he's going into October,
No,
being
that was a
basically.
year later, wasn't it?
No, it was inside the same year.
Was it 2002?
Yeah.
I thought that was 2003. That's my bad. Yeah, it was. That's right. And even a year later, they had Brock versus Taker at 2003. No
Yeah.
Mercy, but it wasn't in the cell.
It's like a biker chain match. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and then Brock at the end, standing on top of the cell, was something that I didn't forget as a kid for sure.
one of my favorite images still to this day. I agree.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of some Hell in a Cell matches that happened right after that.
I'm trying to find this list that they made. They had it on WWE.com.
I saw the list. I saw the list, but I
It was
can't.
made in 2013 though.
Oh, really? And they just reposted it?
Yeah. So I was trying to remember what the top 5 was. Here we go.
Obviously, you mentioned Edge versus Taker.
Yeah.
That was great. That's a top 5 for sure.
Agreed.
They went out. They broke the cell door with the spear, or not the cell door, excuse me, but
the cell wall. Something like that.
I remember fucking like the first ever Hell in a Cell match I watched was Unforgiven 2006. Was the Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Big Show versus DX, which wasn't really all that great looking back on it, but as a kid I thought it was fucking crazy. Amazing.
It was ridiculous. It was great for something that DX was doing because it was completely comical and entertaining. It wasn't really as well. It was kind of brutal sometimes. I won't lie.
It was brutal. I mean, fucking Triple H and they had fucking. At least they tried to make it brutal. Shane he had the chair around his throat, and then Sean did an elbow drop on the chair.
Yep.
Shane was acting like he couldn't fucking breathe. That was kind of, as a kid, I freaked the fuck out.
That was one of the more disturbing things I'd seen. Yeah, that was crazy.
I was like, oh god, like he can't breathe right now. Especially because I thought wrestling was real at the time.
That was a great show, by the way. Unforgiven 2006.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I really love that show.
And the main event was great for that show too.
Exactly.
Edge and Cena. What else was I gonna say?
Undertaker Triple H at WrestleMania 28 was great.
Oh, that is a top 5. That's a top 5 right there.
I think that's it. I think so too.
I remember a lot of people shitting on that match because all the people were like, "Oh, it's just chair shots," and I'm like, the story that they told in that match was so great. It doesn't have a lot of replay value, but watching it like the first time, I thought it was like one of the best matches ever. Obviously, watching it again, it kind of like loses a lot of replay value just because you know what's going to happen and all that stuff. Man,
I think the first time watching it was also really interesting because the way it was billed, the end of an era. And you had Shawn Michaels as the ref, and you were really worried that the streak might end right here.
And you also thought that it might have been the last time you ever see Undertaker in Mania. Obviously,
or any of them at that point, because of the way it ended. Yeah.
So first time I thought it was top 5. I still think it is. Although they had Undertaker and Batista in 2007, which was whatever.
It was a weak ending.
They had Edge come back.
How it ended. Yeah.
I remember that. And then they had Edge win the title a month later. So
yeah.
Which is interesting. Then they had, I'm trying to think of some other Hell in a Cell matches.
That's all the ones that I can really kind of completely remember, honestly.
Obviously,
like the other ones.
We had mentioned the 2009. They had those 3, which were okay. So the Cena, the first one was good with Punk versus Taker. The last 2 were shit.
I thought Cena and Orton was okay. It was really slow.
It was bad. I did not like it.
I thought it was okay.
I didn't think much of it.
Then I didn't think the one in 2014 was too much better.
Oh, I thought the one in 2014 was a lot better.
It was kind of like that spot.
It wasn't great.
At the Rumble.
It was a spot fest, and I didn't love it, but I thought it was like a fun spot fest. If that makes sense.
I'm sure that's what a lot of people were thinking when they thought F5 and RKO 2 when he did the AA and the RKO, which is actually a really great spot.
Oh yeah, and then and then they had the fucking. He was going for the shoulder blocks, and he hit an RKO.
Yeah,
that was actually pretty good. The 2000. I'm just going through the Hell in a Cell pay-per-views now. 2010 they had. I don't even remember what Hell in a Cell matches they had then.
Taker Kane, I remember, was the main event of that show.
Oh god, that was bad.
It was a really awkward ending.
It was bad. And then they had Orton and Sheamus.
Oh yeah,
that was whatever year too. Yeah.
2011 was also pretty forgettable too in terms of matches there.
Well, they had they had Orton and Henry.
Yeah,
which was
that was a Hall of Fame Henry too.
Which was the best Henry.
Very much so.
which was okay. It was whatever. Then they had Cena, Punk, and Alberto, which was good, but didn't really need to. The only reason they for like the whole match, I thought this didn't need to be in the cell, and then the finish was clever, which kind of helped it being in the cell.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's that. Then 2012, they had right back in Punk, and obviously we mentioned Taker and Triple H, which was
Well, oh gosh, was that really the only match that was inside the cell of 2012?
yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Oh.
painful.
yeah, and that was before the network.
That's genuinely painful.
Well, I think their idea was okay. We already because normally they have two, and this year they had already had a Hell in a Cell. So I thought they were only going to do one this year. But I think their idea was okay. Normally we have two Hell in a Cell matches for a pay-per-view.
Mhm.
We already did one at WrestleMania, so we don't need to do two. We'll just do one, which I thought they were going to do this year, but we have three. And then
Very strange.
2013 was Punk and Right Back Again, which was better than the one in 2012, but not all that great. And then they had oh
Orton and
yeah,
Bryan.
that's right. That was a good match.
They put that at number 10 in this top 10 match, which I did not agree with, by the way. No. If there was one match, I would have taken out the spot. And I don't agree with the full order, too, because I think they had, like, the sixth man at number 4, which I don't agree
I
with.
forgot about that 6-man.
Exactly. And they had that over Mankind and Undertaker.
I remember as a kid, really wanted to see that match because I heard that happen. I'm like, oh my god, a Hell in a Cell match with 6 people, which the idea is great, but I don't know if the execution was all that good.
It's precisely how the Attitude Era would have done the cell. Precisely.
I can't even remember that match. Like I remember Rikishi falling off the top of the cell into something.
It came the really crazy thing. It was so insanely booked. Like you couldn't keep up with any of it that was in there.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's kind of how Kurt Angle won the match too, because you couldn't really keep up with anything that was going on. Like there was always the like 3 different one-on-one sections. Then Vince McMahon tried to stop the entire match by tearing down the entire cell. Then Mick Foley came out. It was insane.
I
They all
remember
came out
this.
and battled on the set.
Now that you're talking about it, I remember it a lot more.
It was insane. But I think now that I have it in my head that we're talking about it, I think my top 5 is probably going to be. I'm trying to think of the order still, but my top 5, I'd probably have Triple H and Mick Foley from No Way Out 2000. I'd probably have Taker and Triple H from 28 WrestleMania. I'd have Undertaker and Shawn Michaels as probably my number 1.
I agree with that one.
I think Brock and Taker 1 will get in the top 5.
My top, so you have one more spot. Pick
I might.
Undertaker and Edge. Undertaker
oh my gosh,
Edge.
I'm so partial to Batista Triple H. Seriously,
Or are you
might
gonna
put that as
do?
my number 5.
You're gonna do Triple H versus Batista.
I think Triple H versus Batista is number 5. Number 4.
And that was back when Batista was not all that good.
Yeah.
Batista at that time, he always, for surprising as it is, he had I forget what kind of tear it was. I think it was an abdominal tear or something. I don't know, some kind of muscle tear. And like at that time, he was really like nervous to do anything, so he was really just shit.
But he was going over like crazy.
He was so over; it was ridiculous.
But he also went over Triple H 3 straight times.
Yeah.
In events, including Mania.
Oh yeah,
that's wild.
It was a great storyline. So.
But yeah, actually, I think that's my top 5. Actually, in order too, of Batista, Triple H, and number 5. Number 4 being what was it? Undertaker, Brock. Number 3 being Undertaker, Triple H. Number 2 being Triple H, Mick Foley, and number 1 being Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
My top 5 would be number 5. Shit. Number 5 would be probably
It's really hard.
It's so hard.
It's really hard.
Number 5 would be Edge versus excuse me, Triple H, or it's not Triple H, excuse me, Undertaker
I think it's my number
at
6. Honestly.
SummerSlam.
It's so good.
Number 4 would be Triple H versus Mick Foley.
Mhm.
Number 3 would be Triple H versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Fuck.
We know what number 1 is. What's
Number one is Triple H versus or excuse me, fuck, I can't speak, dude.
It's
Undertaker,
really hard.
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
I don't know what my number 2 would be.
Would it be Taker Brock?
Yes. True, I forgot. I don't know why I forgot that. Taker Brock. Taker is in 4 of those matches.
Yeah, I mean Taker and Triple H make up for like probably 90% of all cell matches.
They've been in pretty much almost every single one, and they've been all great. So, yeah.
Except Kevin Nash and Triple H was kind of crazy.
I forgot about that match.
Exactly.
I just remember it being shit.
I don't know why that was in a cell. I don't. Why was that in a cell?
Why is a lot of matches in a cell?
I mean, we know why with the pay-per-views now, but there are other matches that, I mean,
They need to get rid of.
that need sense.
They need to get rid of the gimmick pay-per-views now, especially with these brand splits.
Before this pay-per-view, I guarantee you that the cell probably would have made sense for about 98% of all of the matches that they had in the past.
Oh yeah.
The only matches that didn't make sense were probably both of them that were on Raw. The Triple H and Kevin Nash match, and that's probably it.
Yeah. Well, now it's just like, okay, the October pay-per-view is coming up. Time to put them in a cell. It just doesn't have the same feeling as it did it didn't have the same meaning as it did before.
Exactly.
Which is sad. Anyways, that's all I guess we have here today. That's our top 5 favorite Hell in a Cell matches. Well, some matches are really good. Let's just say that. They're slow, but they're supposed to be slow.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm probably going to go and watch some of these matches now that we're talking about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all we got to say. You have anything to plug, TR? Do you have anything to plug? You have a Hell in a Cell match card video.
I think that's one of my top 5 favorite videos that I've done this year, and quite possibly ever.
That was a really great video.
It came out so good.
Okay, I have something to plug though. You know how the Ethan Page thing I talked to you about last time?
Yeah.
Remember that? Well, the match is confirmed. First off, it's happening, and I did an interview with him.
Yes.
For his invitational thing that we did, I did like a 15-minute interview with him, and then the last 15 minutes was him going through each of the videos, reviewing it, and picking a winner. So yeah, it's on the MV Zone. You guys can listen to it. It was I was really nervous, and I felt so stupid because I asked him some stupid questions because I didn't know what the fuck I was supposed to ask. Like I felt really bad because I asked him who he was facing at an Evolve show. Like, dude, like after I said it, I was like, oh god, why'd I fucking ask that? God damn it.
You have a great future in journalism. I'm telling you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, but that's just all I wanted to plug. And I'm going to be the first one ever to beat a wrestler in a movie video contest.
Confidence on fleek.
Anyways, thanks you guys all for listening. See y'all later. Peace.